Hello everyone, Parallel here, and welcome to Star Trek Online. The winter event is here for 2016. Q is back for his wintry fun shenanigans, and he has of course brought with him a new event ship that is a free ship for everyone that everyone is able to obtain in the game. And you can see it floating there right behind me. It is actually a Tier 6 Breen Chel Boalg Warship.
I have winter items for a bargain.
And this ship is definitely a bargain because you can get it for free by just completing a daily quest each day for, I think, 25 days, and you will have this ship. And that is what this video is about. I'm going to be taking a look at this ship's stats in detail. And of course, I will show you how to acquire this ship. And I will give a little tips on how to complete the race. Now, this ship actually looks quite impressive, and I will take some time to look at the stats. But first, let's see how you get it. So first thing, and just to make a note, this is for PC players. For console players, you will be doing the same quest, daily quest, and you'll have access, to the same, winter event. But you will be getting a different ship. And the ship for you console players is actually the ship that was available last year on PC, which is the Breen Rezreth Dreadnaught cruiser, which I do have. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Well, I'll get into the stats later, but you do get a different cruiser, and I will make sure to show you what you get on the console side as well. But first things first is you have to get to the Winter Wonderland. And it's very easy to do. If you go on to Earth Space Dock, New Romulus, or Kronos, you'll see Q standing out there in the main square. You just talk to him and say you want to be transported to the Winter Wonderland. I'm actually here on my Temporal Agent, who has actually never done a winter event because the Temporal Agent event started this summer. So when you first get here, you will have a quest line, just to kind of a little tutorial. You'll just come up here, it'll ask you to talk to Q. You'll automatically get this quest right when you zone in. He gives you a basic rundown of what you can do, as far as the events that are going on and whatnot. But what you actually need to do is, to get the ship, to get the free ship, what you actually need to do is complete a race. And you have to do this once per day, and it has a 20-hour cooldown. And each day you do it, you get 40 prize vouchers for 2016. And and you need to collect these to complete the project. So now that I just talked to Q, I should have in my character tab, if you go to your reputation projects for events, go to an open slot, and oh, that's right, you do have to complete this first. So yeah, when you talk to Q, he's going to give you a little ornament. You have to complete this little sort of mini project first. You can see I put this little ornament in my inventory. I'm going to select this project. That's weird. Why would it allow me to put one of those other items in there? I will put the ornament in, and then it completes. Then you have now unlocked the... I believe it also unlocks the store for you as well, for the winter store. Yes, so I now have the winter event store unlocked, which is very cool. Lots of new things this year that I will be checking out. New ground abilities, all kinds of fun stuff. But this video will be about the ship itself and how to get it. And I will give a few tips on how to complete the race. If you've never done it before, it might be a little bit tricky, but there are some really easy tips to make completing the race very, very simple. All right, so here it is, the Breen Chel Boalg Warship, Tier 6. And what do you need to complete it? You need 1,000 prize vouchers, so yeah, 25 days, I believe. So that's pretty typical. So you just do this once a day. It only takes a few minutes, and you only have to do it on one character. Once you claim this ship, complete the project on one character, it will unlock for all of your characters. You'll be able to reclaim it in the store here. If you go to in your reputation tab, go to the store, go to account reclaims, and you'll see it will appear in here. All right. So you can see these are all the ships that I've unlocked from past events on other characters. And they're available even on my Temporal Agent. And here, once I complete the Chel Boalg Warship, my other characters will be able to claim it here in this tab. I will go ahead and slot this project, I recommend even if you can't complete this project, if you don't think you'll have time to complete it this year, definitely slot it and keep it in your projects list, because typically you can complete the project the following year using the vouchers from the following year. But it's definitely good to keep your ship project slotted. Even when the event's over, it will still remain slotted. So just do that in case you think you can't make it. All right, so to get this ship, like I said, you need 1,000 of those tokens to complete that project. And to get those tokens, you need to come over here and talk to this Breen, the race coordinator. He's going to give you a quest, fastest game on ice. We're going to accept it. And this is what you need to complete. What you do is head down here and talk to this other guy to start the race. And all you have to do is win the race, and that will complete the quest for you, and you'll get your 40 vouchers for the day. One quick note, this is something very recently added, but if you go into your PvE queues tab, you can actually see, where is it here? You can actually now see there's a new view cooldowns button there, and you can actually see, how does it have the winter event on here? I'm kind of surprised. Typically, this would show for events what the cooldown timer is on your daily quest, but I'm not seeing it here. Huh. Hopefully they will add that, because that's a very nice feature. It was there for the past couple events with the crystalline entity and whatnot. It will typically show what your cooldown is for completing the daily quest for that particular event. So much for that tip. But I'll give you some tips on the race here. So once you talk to this guy, he will start the race. And the thing that makes this race tricky for new players is that it's on ice. All right, and you kind of slip and slide around. And if you go too far off the track, you get disqualified. But the trick to this is you just need to know how to control your character on the ice. And there's a very simple trick to this. And that is, you can take advantage of the physics, the sliding physics. You can override the sliding physics just by doing a simple jump. See, as soon as I jump and land, I'm immediately stopped. And there you go. It makes it very easy to do turns. And there's the spider I'm racing against. I got stuck on the snow there. If you do get stuck on the snow, sometimes that will stop your slide. And that's about it. Now you can also do a roll that will also stop the forward momentum when you're sliding around. So because the problem is if you don't, if you don't know the trick to stop your sliding, this race becomes very difficult. You start sliding all over the place. You eventually will, end up sliding off the track, or you lose way too much time, and the NPC will catch up to you. This time, that little spider that's been following me, he will pass you if you're not able to make the turns quickly. So you can see how I'm doing it here. When I'm sliding, I just go the direction, point the mouse the direction you want to go, take a little jump, and then that stops your slide, and then you're facing right where you want to go. You want to keep yourself going in a straight line as much as possible, because the downside of the ice is you do lose control when you're turning, but the upside is you're very, very fast in a straight line. So kind of line up for straight lines, go as fast as you can. Line up for straight lines and go as fast as you can. There's the finish already. And that guy's pretty fast. He was right on my tail, and I was doing a pretty good job. So there you go. That's how you complete it. And like I said, you can do, like here, if I'm running around, if you want to stop your slide, you can also do, you should be able to do a forward roll. What happened to my forward roll key? Something's wrong with my key binding here because it's not doing a roll. But you can also do a roll to stop your slide. A lot of people prefer the rolls. I prefer the jump just because the animation for the jump is so quick. If you just do a tiny little jump, you're immediately stopped. Sometimes the roll animation's a little bit too long for my taste. But you can be successful doing the roll or the jump. Both works fine. And that's the trick. If you know how to stop your momentum and make the turns quickly, you will pretty easily defeat the NPC and complete the quest. So once you're done, come on up here, talk to this guy, complete the quest, and you'll see he'll give you your 40 vouchers, and you are all set there you go. 25 days later, you will have your ship. You only have to do it on one character, and you'll have it for your whole account forever, which is very, very, very nice. Take the time, do it each day. It's well worth it. It's, quick and easy. Under 5 minutes, you're going to be done, and you're going to be all set. So that's how you complete the quest. It's pretty straightforward. And it's, like I said, very easy. You'll get your ship in no time. Now, let's talk about the ship itself. And let me see here. Is there... I don't know if there's a way for me to see the stats on the ship in-game. Because the project isn't going to show the stats. I might have to pull up the web page. If I go to the... Yeah, I wonder if I go to the store... No, that doesn't have it either. If I go to the reclaim, is it there? Oops, yeah, reclaim, store. Is it there? Is it? Yes, haha. There it is, the stats of the ship.
Cuddly and friendly Epos.
So let's take a look at this thing because... Oh no, this is the Rezreth. Chel, Boalg, please. Very good. Alright, so here it is. So this is the Chel, Boalg, and I will, like I said, for the console players, I'll quickly also take a look at the Rezreth because that is the ship you will be getting. But first, let's start out with the brand new ship for the PC players, which is the Chel, Boalg. And let's take a look here. I'm just going to skip right down to the stats. I don't need all of the preamble, but yep, everyone can use it. It's a tier 6 ship. You can, let's check out the hull strength. So it has a 48,000 hull strength at level 60. So it's definitely not a cruiser, and it's also not an escort, so it's sort of in between. And I believe, yeah, it does get the destroyer ability package. So yeah, this would be putting it kind of in that middle road, kind of where a destroyer is.
Can hear profit in the wind.
Help! The snowmen aren't taking too kindly to our building a village in their territory, and they're planning an attack.
Oh no. I'm going to go down here so I don't have to listen to the NPCs prattle on about how great Q is while I'm going through the stats of the ship. So yeah, let's take a look here. So I've got the Chel, Boalg. Okay, so let's go down here. Like I said, it does have the destroyer ability package. And that means, it's kind of in that destroyer, is kind of in between a cruiser and an escort. Usually, has a higher hull than an escort, but a little bit less maneuverable than an escort. I actually rather enjoy destroyers, and the destroyer ability package is actually very good because it has crit. That's weird. I thought this was actually crit damage, not crit chance. I'll have to double check on that. Yeah, see, it has 2 crit chances here. I'm pretty sure one of these is actually crit damage, crit D, which makes Destroyer package one of the better ability packages out there. So that's a good thing. So what else we got here? It's 48,000 hull, so that's pretty good for a destroyer. Shield modifier 1, again, a pretty average shield modifier. Usually, yeah, pretty typical. Maybe right around slightly higher than a escort, but definitely not up to cruiser or science vessel levels. It has a 4-4 weapon layout. That is actually quite unique for a destroyer. Destroyers are typically 4-3. So that's actually very good. They do call this a warship, quote-unquote warship, which puts it in kind of the same class as like the Nandi warship and maybe like the Crenum Imperium warship. Usually warships are more focused on, have the full 8 weapon slots, either 4-4 or 5-3. So this would fit along with that. It does have 3 device slots. And let's take a look at the bridge officers. So it has a commander tactical. Again, very good. It's a tactically based ship. Again, not quite as strong as a cruiser, but hull-wise, but still more robust than your typical escort. But like an escort, it does come with a commander tactical, which is very nice. Lieutenant engineering, 1 Lieutenant Commander Science Temporal Operative. Okay, so it does have a Lieutenant Commander with temporal seating, which is good. Temporal seating, you got some good options there. You got your, your recursive you could put on there. So it does have good damage potential. It does have an Ensign Universal, good. At least it's not a fixed Ensign. And a Lieutenant Commander Universal, very good. That's actually a really good bridge officer seating, I think. You've got 2 Universals. That's pretty flexible. You got an Ensign Universal and a Lieutenant Commander Universal. It's a little unfortunate that the temporal is on the Lieutenant Commander Science. Yeah, because then that's going to be competing for slots there. What you could probably do is use the Lieutenant Commander Universal as a science, and maybe use the Ensign Universal as a tactical, because you already have a Commander Tactical, so you still be pretty decent on tactical slots. So you'll have 4 there, and then with the Ensign Universal, make that a tactical. You'll have a total of 5 tactical slots, which is good. I think that's a good. You can still work with that, especially if you have plenty of cooldown reduction. Like if you're running the Strategist secondary, you should have plenty of cooldown reduction where you don't need to run multiple copies of tactical abilities. And then that frees up that Lieutenant Commander Universal, put a science in there. And that means you could have either have the Lieutenant Commander recursive in the temporal seat, and then you could also put like a Feedback Pulse 2 in the Universal seat if you put a science officer in there. So this is a really, really flexible seating. I like it a lot. The only thing is you might be a tad short on the engineering side with that build. You only have the 2 slots, and you'll probably, you want to put emergency power abilities in there. But you should have at least a slot or 2 open on, if you use this Lieutenant Commander Universal as a science, you should have some slot open there for, like a hazard emitters and science team. So you should be okay, even with a lower number of engineering. So I really like that. You could go with the kind of a science temporal heavy build with still plenty of tactical seating. Very good bridge officers. I really like it. I really liked it a lot. Kind of surprised they put temporal on here. Breen doesn't really strike me as a temporal, but maybe they just wanted to have temporal on one of the, like an event ship. I don't think an event ship ever before has had temporal, so they probably wanted that on there. Let's see what we got for consoles. We got 4 tactical, 4 engineering, 3 science. Nice balanced loadout there. 3 science is nice. So you're not stuck with 2 or 1 like some other ships. Some other destroyers have very low on science, but this one has 3, so it's not bad. And 4 tactical is good, and 4 engineering should leave you plenty of space to put your, if you want to do a console set on there. The Breen set's unfortunately not very good, but it does give you plenty of options there. You can fit in the engineering slots. You can put your leech up there. All kinds of good stuff. Let's see, turn rate, 13 degrees per second, so it's pretty maneuverable. Again, right there, up there, a little bit less than a typical escort, but definitely more maneuverable than a cruiser. Right there with the typical destroyer. 1 point impulse modifier, 50 inertia, so it's decently maneuverable. 15 weapons power, 5 engine power. That's good. It is a tactical ship. Does come with a console, the Universal Enhanced Breen Energy Dissipator. And can load dual cannons. Okay. All right, so yeah, that's actually good, very good layout. I mean, good bridge officer layout, quite flexible with 2 universals, good turn rate. It's it's your typical kind of a destroyer type layout, but it does have a 4/4 weapons. So I'm already seeing this could be an excellent beam escort build on here. You could actually build this, I think, very similar to the Nandi, although the bridge officer seating is quite different than the Nandi. The Nandi has the 6 bridge officers, which is pretty awesome, actually. But this thing is still a very good bridge officer layout. I like it a lot. Good console layout. And it could make a very devastating beam ship. Load this sucker up with some Coalition Disruptor beam arrays, and you are going to be golden. This could be actually quite a high-performing ship, I have to say. So a definite thumbs up here on the free ship. I mean, this might not be quite as good as the Nandi, but then again, it does. You know, the Nandi only has the pilot seating, which isn't super great, whereas the Temporal Operative, you have some options there for some pretty high DPS abilities. And if you're going for a more sciencey type build, you could do that. I mean, in fact, with this, you could probably even go with a more Breen. If you're looking for a Breen theme, you could go with a more Drain type build. And you should have plenty of console slots to do that, and plenty of Science Bridge Officer slots to do that. And you can kind of mix it in with Temporal. I kind of like the Temporal abilities just because they have a very sciencey feel to them. So yeah, very, very solid ship, especially for a free ship. I put it right up there, right against the Nandi as one of the better ships, one of the best free ships out there. It might not be quite up to the, lacking some intel seeding. It might not be quite up to like an Imperium, a Krenim Imperium warship, and, probably won't be up there with like the D7, which is insanely good. The Scimitar probably would, this could be up there. I mean, it doesn't have a hangar bay, but, I still see a lot of potential here in the ship with very good seating, consoles, and weapon layout here. So the console, it doesn't unfortunately show the stats of the console, but it is a enhanced Breen energy dissipator. I think it's very similar to the old energy dissipator from the Tier 5 old Chel. But instead it has some passives. I'm just going to pull up on the side here the blog post on this, which talked about the console. I don't know if it actually gave the numbers, but yeah, the enhanced Breen energy dissipator. It has, let's see here, fires a targetable energy dissipation blast that causes significant subsystem drain and has a chance to knock off a single system offline. So this is, fits with more like a drain build if that was what you were going for. This console provides a passive boost to drain mastery, so that's obviously makes sense, and critical hit chance. Okay. Now it doesn't show the numbers, but could be decent. An extra crit chance on the console couldn't hurt. Usually the clicky ability is not that great. We'll have to, once I actually have this ship and get a chance to actually test it out, we'll have to see if the console is any better this time around, the actual clicky ability, the drain. And it also comes with a Starship Trait. So this trait is called Cryonic Siphon. What this does, it will drastically reduce the target's shield hardness and damage resistance while Energy Siphon is active on the target. Damage resistance and shield hardness. That's pretty good. It's not bad. And you only have to put Energy Siphon on there. When with all those extra if you did use this Lieutenant Commander Universal as Science, you should have plenty of Science slots to fit in Energy Siphon if you like. Not the greatest ability out there, Energy Siphon, but if it also reduces damage resistance and shield hardness, and depending on the duration, that could be actually quite good. Especially the damage resistance reduction, that's always great. I mean, that could be useful in all kinds of targets. So actually not a bad trait. Definitely worthy of testing. Once we see the numbers and everything, it'll be good good to check out. Good potential there. So absolutely great free ship. Especially for new players, absolutely if you're a new, if you don't have any Tier 6 ships yet, pick this one up. Like I said, this is an excellent Tier 6 ship in its own right. Stacks right up there with, I think, some of the best event ships. And probably, only just under some of the best ships out there in the game. It won't quite stack up to those, but this one will scale quite well. This ship, if you if you're just starting now and this is your first Tier 6 ship, this will last you a long time. Has excellent stats and excellent scalability, and you'll be able to take advantage of it once you get some temporal abilities. So, very, very good. You could stick. You could put also entropic redistribution, another excellent temporal trait on there. Channel deconstruction, use that to build up entropy. There's all kind. You can put recursive shearing on there if you're in a more coordinated group. Lots of options though. So you could put lots of temporals on there. You could put you can even put a destabilizing resonance beam on there and your lieutenant commander if you use that as a science. So I'm really liking the look of this ship, guys. Excellent ship. So absolutely, if you can at all, participate in the winter event, complete that race daily, definitely do it. This ship is worth it. So that is the Chel Boalg Tier 6. Now, for console players, you are going to be getting the Breen Rezreth Dreadnaught Cruiser. This ship, I did test this out last year. If you are at all interested, go ahead, and if you actually go back on my channel 1 year, you will see a full in-depth analysis of the ship and an actual, in-game test and using it in combat. I will say it is a pretty solid cruiser. I wouldn't measure it up there as one of the best ships out there, but like I said, if you're a new player, it's still a very good Tier 6 ship cruiser to have in your arsenal. It is a Dreadnaught cruiser, so it does get a hangar bay, and even more if you have the old the Pleshbrek. No, not the Pleshbrek. The Pleshbrek. If you have the old Pleshbrek Heavy Raider, that actually will unlock the frigate pets for this ship, and you can take advantage of those. So this ship, again, it's not the best ship out there, but it does have a Admiralty card that's pretty decent. I will show you that. And I'm actually curious to see what the Admiralty card will be on the Chel Boalg. I won't be able to show you that until I actually unlock the ship later this month. But the Rezreth does have a good Admiralty card, so it's worth it. For that alone, it's worth grinding it out. But let's take a look at the stats here. It does have a 59,000 hull. Right up there at the top of the cruiser. It is a very tanky ship, that's for sure. You've got a 1.15 shield modifier, pretty good for a cruiser. You got 4 weapons. You got a Lieutenant Tactical, Commander Engineering, because it is a cruiser, so Commander Engineering. Lieutenant Commander Science, which is pretty good. I like the Lieutenant Commander Science on there. You do get an Ensign Universal for a little bit of flexibility, and then a Lieutenant Commander Universal Command. And Command is really more suited for like a torp boat, and this cruiser is not really the best torp boat out there, so honestly you probably won't get much use out of that command seating. That's kind of one of the drawbacks of the ship.
Assimilated snowmen are approaching the gate to the Winter Wonderland. They will arrive in 1 minute.
But it is Lieutenant Commander Universal, so good flexibility there that you can do. As you can see, it only comes with Lieutenant Tactical, so probably I would recommend using this Lieutenant Commander Universal as another tactical. That would again give you 5 tactical slots, which is pretty good. I like to at least have 5. That gives you, your plenty of room for attack team, chemo site, attack pattern, and then beam fire at will. So you got plenty of room there with 5 tactical slots. The Ensign Universal, probably put maybe a science in there, or maybe just another tactical if you want to put like an SRO in there. But because you do have your Commander Engineering, so you have plenty of engineering seats, and you got a Lieutenant Commander Science, which is actually pretty good on the science side as well. So it's pretty good bridge officer seating, honestly, because you have those universals in there that you can use how you want, although I'd recommend use them as tactical. It does have a 3 tactical, 3 science, 5 engineering, which is okay. Again, at least it has the 3 science in there. And 3 tactical is not, that's pretty average for a cruiser. But here's the thing. This is kind of the thing that I wouldn't say kills the ship, but it's just one of the major disadvantages is this. It's only 7 degrees per second turn rate. This thing is a tug. It turns like sludge, and you're never going to be able to, make this into like a torp boat with fired forwarding torps. You're going with beam arrays on this thing because it is just a tug. Plus 5 all power. It can load dual cannons. I don't know why you'd want to. It does have the hangar bay, so because it is the Dreadnaught cruiser, it does come with a hangar bay, which is good. And the it comes with the Breen Chaos Fighters, but like I said, if you have the Pleshbrek Heavy Raider, you can get the frigate pets, which are decent frigate pets. They unfortunately have cannons, which the AI pet AI is not as good with dealing with cannons. They're much better because the firing arc is so narrow, and the AI is just not always good at tracking the enemy and facing the right way. So. Unfortunately, not the best pets out there, but And you've also got the universal console for the power discharge capacitors. It's kind of a lackluster console. It's kind of a gimmicky, shoots, absorbs damage and then shoots it out as electricity. Again, if you want to take it, want the details on that, I'd highly recommend just go back 1 year ago to the last winter event on my channel, and I have a full overview and showed this console in action. It does come with the Weapon Systems Efficiency Command. Very good. Comes with the Dreadnaught Cruiser package, and you get enhanced power condensers, trait, which unfortunately I don't think I have unlocked on this character. I don't know that I ever leveled up the Breen ship on this character. So yeah, I'm trying to recall what it actually did. But yeah, sorry, I don't remember what the trait actually did. My apologies on that. But I don't think it was the most particularly impressive Starship Trait out there. Nothing too spectacular or too memorable. So, again, it's a pretty solid cruiser, but I would say, just about average. Just because it's so slow. The pets are not the greatest pets. But it still has a pretty decent bridge officer layout, and it's still a 4-4 cruiser with a very high hull. It's very tanky. It does have, good enough, it does have that Lieutenant Commander science in there, so you could run like a aggro tank build, put like a feedback pulse in there. So there are some good viable builds on this cruiser. It's certainly a good tier 6 ship if you're just starting out and you want some access to a tier 6 ship. This is definitely a good cruiser. It'll give you a good idea of how Dreadnaught cruisers perform. This is actually very similar to the command cruisers that you get from the faction bundle in the C store. So if you're looking at one of those, this ship would give you kind of a good impression of how one of those would work, although those have a much better Starship Trait that you can get. So there you go. There's the Breen Rezreth. It's a solid ship, but certainly not, a top performer. It's a good, solid tier 6 ship that can last you quite a while as a new character. And there you go. Those are the new ships for 2016. The Chel Boalg looks excellent potential there for PC players. Very much looking forward to this. You can bet for sure I will be making a video once I get this towards the end of the month. Take this thing out for a ride and do a shakedown, do a build, and check it out in action. And yeah, we'll see how it does. I have pretty high hopes, I have to say. Just by looking on the stats, it looks like it is a very good ship. So definitely picked it up. Console players, not quite as good of a ship, but still a solid ship. Get that Rezreth. Oh yeah, I said I was going to show you the Admiralty card. Let's finish up with that. The Admiralty card for the Rezreth is actually quite good. Admiralty. Let's just do it in the ship roster. Rezreth, where are you? There you go. You can see here it is actually epic quality card. Pretty good balance. It has a very high engineering, and then at 62, and then a 33 tech and a 31 science. So good balance there. But it has a very good special ability as well. It ignores plus or minus tactical from events. Comes in actually quite handy for for those event there are several event modifiers out there that will add 100 tactical onto a mission, and this is a very good ship to slot in those cases. Well worth it, well worth grinding it out, and I can't wait to see what the Chel Boalg has. Yeah, I mean, you can have a whole Breen team going. You can have your Breen Rezreth in there. You can have your Sarthelm. You go up here, you can have your Chel Gret and your Pleshbrek, and then soon you'll have the Chel Boalg. You could have quite a solid team of Breen ships going on there. I'm also very curious to see how it looks. I mean, you can see it does look quite similar to the Chel Gret, just based on this 3D model up here. Let's see if we can take a better look at it. There you go. There's a pretty good look at it. It looks pretty good. It is asymmetrical like most of your Breen ships out there, but not egregiously so. I know The Rezreth is horribly asymmetric and quite ugly, I must say. But this ship looks pretty good. I mean, for a Breen ship, it looks pretty solid, but you know, it's got a nice, does have a nice sleek look to it. Like I said, asymmetrical, but not egregiously so. So there's at least some balance going on there. I kind of like how they seem to have added these two kind of like wings or fins coming off the side. Those look actually kind of cool, and they are actually symmetrical, which is kind of nice. So it's kind of they, you know, strap on these. I don't know if these are like pylons, what they are, onto the side, above and below the wings. Those little wings, I think I do like it. I do like the little addition there. So as Breen ships go, I'm not a huge fan of the Breen look, but this one actually looks quite good for a Breen ship. So I'm looking forward to it. Excellent. Good free ship. So that's Winter 2016, guys. There is the free ship. Definitely go out and get it. It has a lot of potential. And I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, like I said, look forward to another video on this once I obtain it in about a month. All right, guys, that's all. Good luck. Have fun getting your ship. And that is all. Bye for now.